What is going on, everybody? Back here again with another episode of Smoke, episode 5 for Apple TV. Guys, I think I'm gonna upgrade this to a weekly review now. I was just gonna come in every now and then, even though I don't expect the show to do real well, as I don't really know the audience for it, and I checked out the competition. It's just really not there. I'm gonna be honest, but I do like the show. I'm intrigued by it, so I think I'm just gonna stick with it on a weekly basis. My boy Dave, once again, the star of the show for the wrong reasons, but I'll tell you the MVP of this episode right here. But before I do that, this episode was brought to you by.
Fuck are you doing? Are you professional or not?
Got my boy Dave in a bind. But anyway, guys, the real MVP was let me find it here. Joy. Joy sipping on that bottle. But we gonna get to Joy in just a minute. All right. But with that being said, let me go ahead and get into today's show, guys. We're gonna do things a little bit different here. This is gonna be shown as a live broadcast, but I'm not really live. I am behind the scenes right now, doing productions just to kind of see. It might be a little bit easier than trying to do all the banners and the pictures in one go. So I'm gonna be behind the scenes. But if y'all want to say hey, say hi, and if I get enough participation, I just pop back up. But I am behind the scenes. Live JH is behind the scenes doing production right now. But just let that be known if you're watching this live. But I am going to stream this live. But with that being said, this is your check-in for season. Well, I was going to say season 1. It may or may not be a season 2. I don't know. But episode 5 of Smoke. Another good, by the way. So let's go ahead and get into my first topic here. We just gonna talk about. We start the episode off with Dave, of course, and he's up after once again telling on himself with that audio book or whatever. And we do get a little later in the episode after this, where Michelle and Emmett are talking. Emmett thinks Michelle's having sex with Dave, of course, even though she ain't gave him no play yet. Out there, don't do it, Michelle. Keep the family away, right? But but yeah, I don't know. She ain't in her right mental space either. She might give him some. I don't know. But anyway, we have Steve. Is it Steven? I think Steven is his last name. I can't remember his full name. But Steven comes around. I guess he's looking for Michelle or making sure Michelle is not with him or something like that. He seems overprotective, even though they had their little argument or whatever. Michelle basically, but Michelle led the man on, man. Michelle led him on. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Steven just caught feelings too fast. So I'm like, dude, you you left your family. I'm like, you needed to talk to her first. You should have said, hey, I think I'm gonna leave my wife for you, and made sure it was okay. But yeah, that must have been some strong box. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, Stevens is a little crazy for Michelle. He seems a little overprotective. There was basically a stick measuring contest for the lack of a better term or whatever. So so we had him, Dave, uh, talk it out a little bit or whatever, and he's basically kind of filling him out or whatever, and basically letting him know like, hey, don't mess with my woman or whatever. And he basically told this to Harvey as well. Basically, that's what he said when he said, hey, you better back the right person because Dave ain't getting no results, and she's the war hero for her unethical actions in episode 2, I believe. She shot the dude's kneecaps or whatever. So yeah, so we that's where we leave off from there. And I'm trying to see because it seems like Harvey is like, okay, obviously he doesn't believe that Dave is the arsonist, but he knows that people Espacito. Expects him of that. So that's what we're gonna refer to Ezra as, because I think that song Despacito, Espacito, baby. So, and he's a ball. But so yeah, we go from there, and then we get a couple scenes before mayhem occurs. And I didn't catch this on the first run, but at first I'm like, okay, who's this random lady? What's her importance? Joy, of course, she's drinking out of her little wine bottle or whatever that is, a little spirit bottle. And as you can see, she's right behind Dave in the beginning of the episode, and she goes to park. I guess that's where she works at. And yeah, and Dave is gonna get some chaotic karma, I would like to call it, at the end of the episode. But I just like how they kind of set it up and put that right there, and came back around at the end of the episode. But let's go to Freddie, disgruntled employee of the month with that bald head. So he comes into work, like, I didn't get the job. When he saw the old buddy who's the manager, and I thought it was his house at first that he burned down. Now I look back at it, I'm like, okay, no, that's the guy that um, interviewed him or whatnot. And this is a great but creepy snapshot of Freddie here, when he's at the back of the kitchen cooking, and Brenda's checking him out or whatever. Make I guess he's on suicide watch or something like that. She watching, make sure he ain't doing nothing crazy to himself. But other than that, I thought it was over with for her in this episode when it went to the latter half of the episode when he got ready to burn down that house. I thought he was burned down that house and her house. I said he was gonna go after the salon. So she's safe for now, but I think it's coming. I think it's coming. Y'all let me know if y'all think Brenda's house or salon is gonna be burned down in the next couple of episodes here. But the way they filmed it, it made it look like he was coming after her, but it was just the guy and his wife, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm wrong, let me know. But but those are the adventures of Freddy so far. Let's go into the let's go to Espacito, the revenge cornologist, right? So we found out that's what he's up to after being set up pretty much by Dave. He got fired or whatnot from the um, police department. And of course, and I'm like, he's probably gonna peep her out and know that she's following him. And of course, that's what happens when he pulls up on her. Um, but of course, I got a kick out of, like, she's like, what is he watching? So she finds out that he shoots, adult content, for lack of a better term, right? So they get together and talk about Dave. You don't know Dave, right? And he showed him this video of basically Dave telling him, and he has this on video, so I'm confused. Um, but anyway, so Dave tells him this mobile home is empty, is up for repossession or something like that, some type of ritual, and he basically gets him to burn down the mobile home. And to his surprise, there are animals and pets inside, and he sees this wall of like dogs and stuff I guess he owned or something like that. And that's how I got into that story. So yeah, Dirty Dave. That was dirty, man. That was dirty. There was definitely harm to pets and animals in the making of this film. But yeah. So he gets pissy drunk, falls out, and then the next day, after sobering up, I guess he tries to follow Mel and tag along, I guess, but she's like, "You green as fuck, get away from me." So this is the last time we're gonna see Espacito. Probably not. I think he'll some way somehow come in a clutch. Even though he's not the best of character, right? But I think he's gonna come into play at some point down the line. But yeah, I enjoyed the actor as well. I can't remember his name, but I do know his face. But yeah, that was Espacito, right? Uh, let's go to let's talk about Dave now. Dave seems to be the star of every every review. Last episode, he had his freak off. I guess that was a one time thing. I think okay, he got somebody he can put on the team now. She might be down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that might be the only time we see her. And I'm thinking like he finna pull another one. But we find out, when he goes to the bar and I found it odd that the girls were singing CeeLo Crazy, right? That song. So I like how they put all these subtleties in the episode. Dave is definitely crazy, and there were a lot of like size jokes, things of that nature. Even at the beginning of the episode, where I titled my headline "Stick Measure Contest," of course, basically, and in last episode, Michelle was talking to Dave about her last boyfriend and her current boyfriend, or our current boyfriend. She made a size joke, so she was kind of sneak dissing him in front of his face. I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of ties together on this episode. So there were a lot of sneak jabs, subtleties that I enjoyed during this episode, and definitely with her listening to his book, I got a kick out of that as well. Um, and oh boy, he just telling on himself. Stop it, bro. At the beginning here, he was talking to the guys before I get into his meetup with his ex-wife. And they were mentioning the situation where one of the, I guess, the people in the fire department might be causing arson. So yeah, so he's like, really, you think somebody else could have done it within yeah, I don't know. But he just telling himself the way he looked, his mannerisms. It's just like, if I was sitting around this guy, I'm like, Dave, you kind of suspicious, bro. You kind of weird, man. So it's like through his facial expressions, his actions, his book, he's telling on himself. So I think that's what's gonna get him up out of here eventually. All that plus, what happened at the end. I think that's kind of like the beginning of the end, the downfall of Dave. But anyway, so after this, we get him looking at this, what I thought at the time was just a random woman. And I'm like, dang, he pulling another one. But first watch, I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it until the scene where, she was trying to get right. And he said, there's my ex-wife. And she was telling him about I guess his wife is the reason why he came up short or whatever, because he's thinking about that situation or whatever. And then that's where he responded with there's my ex-wife or whatnot. All right. I'm a little all over the place. Before then, we did have him do his little presentation skit again. He got this down to a science, right? But the other chick put a stop to his show with the fire extinguisher, where they put out his fire. So this makes me think he might run it back on her. Who knows? I don't know if we got enough time to tell that story, but if I were writing, I would make Dave go run it back. Wherever she live at, we burning down your house, right? Burning up your car, something. Like that lady in the, was it 3 or 4 or something? But yeah. So after this, we go back to the scene where his wife is telling him, "Hey, after I get out the shower, I better not see you," or something like that. So I guess that's the end of that. But yeah. Then of course we get Freddy burned down the house. So later in the episode here, the final pieces of the episode, Harvey is calling Dave, and Dave basically makes a connection like, hey, he's going outside of his territory, so to say, and this is personal. And of course, it was personal. And so I guess that made him do something different. So he decided to burn up the store, and he drove. That's why he's singing Michael Belton, "Back on my feet again." Right. So, yeah. Um. Then after this, of course, we get the scene where Joy, the MVP of the episode, drives into Dave because he's not paying attention. But I went back and looked. I'm like, okay, who ran the light? Who's in the wrong? And Dave was in the right. But, he met Mayhem, right? And yeah, I think Joy is up out of here. It don't look like she survived. She hit the car, flipped all the way up, didn't land it back up right or whatever. But of course, Dave being one of the, main characters of the series, he can't be dead yet, of course. So I guess he wakes up in a hospital or something next episode, and we'll see. But I think this is where things start to fall apart for Dave. We shall see as Michelle gets a little bit closer on his tail. But, if she does, what will he do in retaliation? We saw how he got Espacito up out of here. Will he do the same to Michelle? We shall see. But that has been your weekly check-in for Smoke episode 5 for Apple TV. But and guys, that's gonna be it for me. Let me know down below what you thought of the episode. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and it would definitely be better if I knew actually, people, there's something y'all want to see. But right now, I'm kind of doing this just for me because I just like I like the series so far. But just looking out the competition, the numbers are low for this series. I'm just gonna be honest. That's with any new series. So I'm kind of taking a chance on it here. But anyway, guys, your likes, comments, shares, all that stuff, run up the algorithm. But yeah, other than that, that's gonna be it for this episode of Smoke. I enjoyed it. Let me know if y'all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all next time. Peace out.